Welcome to this week's Disgracefully Graceful, the show about ageing disgracefully. I'm Cheryl Lee. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk nutrition today. We're going to have Dave Gleeson, lead singer of the Screaming Jets and the Angels, share his secret to the perfect root vegetable soup, and he's going to cook us a lamb roast. And of course, as we age, nutrition is really, really important. Don't be tempted just to chuck in a microwave meal or grab a muesli bar. Remember to get your 5 vegetables each day. Oh, and Dave Gleeson plays a pretty mean game of pool too. Hi, it's me, Cheryl Lee. Welcome to Disgracefully Graceful, the show about staying fit, healthy, active, entertained and connected to the community as we age.
Activity start.
We nearly done.
On the way. Okay, we found a gentleman. Okay, we found a gentleman. Welcome back to Disgracefully Graceful. We're with one of the most hardest working gentlemen
I was going to say disgraceful.
and that in South Australian or Australian rock and roll. Not one, not two, but 3 bands.
Yes.
Mr. Dave Gleeson, of course, frontman of the Screaming Jets and the Angels, but most importantly, Dave and Crafty.
Yeah, well, that's something that came up out of the blue, isn't it?
Yeah, that's been keeping you busy while we've been a little bit in levels of lockdown.
Yeah, it has, and it's been unreal that people have been tuning in every week, even though things are opening up a bit more, so yeah, it's great.
Thankfully. So we are going to be asking people about their diets. We might speak to some vegetarians or, different people about what they eat and what they do diet-wise to keep healthy. Dave, what do you do diet-wise on the road? What could you...
Oh, that's a hard one. I rarely eat breakfast, but on the road I think, well, I should get healthy and eat breakfast, and then I'll have eggs Benedict, which it's not much healthy about that. But yeah, you kind of eat where you can and get food where you can. There's always a backstage rider that'll have,
liquid lunch.
Yeah. And of course, cheeses and meats and stuff like that. So yeah, it's hard to eat well on the road.
Yeah.
That's why I try to eat well at home.
All right. So when you are at home on the farm, what do you like to eat and what do you like to cook at home?
Oh, just your normal staples: spaghetti bolognese, chicken schnitzel. I do a bit of a good one of those. Love to crumb and batter my own fish. The kids enjoy that.
Sounds a bit like pub food.
Yeah, surprise.
Alrighty, so you've got a couple of favourite recipes. Are these Dave Gleeson classics?
Yeah, they're ones that I just go to all the time. They're pretty easy to do.
Yeah, on the barbie?
On the barbie or, at home. Actually, my wife blew up the stove the other night, so...
That sounds like something bless her. That's a good idea.
So thankfully I get to come here and use the barbecue and make a couple of my favourites.
Alrighty, so what are you going to cook for us today?
First of all, like a roast root vegetable soup.
Yum.
Which is pretty easy. You just, there's not much to it at all. And then a roast leg of lamb I've always done, barbecued leg of lamb.
Perfect.
So I always like to do that with all the trimmings and the roast potatoes and stuff, so yeah.
All right, well, let's go do it.
Let's do that.
Rightio. Dave Gleeson, and he's going to show us how he makes his traditional roasted root vegetable soup and traditional roasted lamb with rosemary and garlic. Is that right?
Yeah. It's pretty simple, really. I think everyone's got this in their arsenal.
I bet. But let's hear Dave's version. What do we do?
Well, this is the first time I've ever done a cooking show. Although I watch them all the time. With the root vegetables, like with any soup, I cut up onions, celery, and put some garlic, and put them and fry them off in the pan.
Or fry them off.
But I also
You sound like MasterChef.
I am like MasterChef. Well, I'm like jocks on Phil. And then I also put onions in the pan because they get a real great sweetness about them. And that's kind of what you're doing by roasting all these off, is getting a bit of caramelisation in them. They get to that point where they're just so soft and mushy, and you cook them off a bit, and up we go.
All right.
There we
You're
go,
pretty good
look.
at that, actually. You've done this before.
Oh, I am. Now, with carrots, I've found that it's between 12 and 14 goes. Every carrot, doesn't matter the size of the carrot, it takes between 12 and 14 goes around to peel a carrot.
Sort of like shearing a sheep.
These are the kind of things that I think about when I'm cooking. Wow, that's amazing. I count my steps as well sometimes.
And how about the kids? Do they do very much cooking?
Nah, they're like everyone else's kids. They just come to the place at the table at meal time and then sneak
And whinge.
and sneak away.
So it's a nice sort of chunky rusty.
Yeah, nice and chunky,
recipe.
just to get plenty of heat into them. You need oil and some salt, and put that on there.
Alright.
So that's plenty of the old sweet potato,
Yep.
that's for sure.
I think we're cooking for about 10 today.
Beautiful, then
Yep.
this will be perfect. We've got some carrots in there as well.
So we are going to peel the carrots today.
Oh, you don't need to peel the carrots if you don't want to, if you feel so inclined. Well, and you don't need to peel those potatoes.
No, they're good looking potatoes.
As long as you've got the good old bar mix that you can get in there. And
Yeah.
funny
Right.
like that, I get very proud of just doing normal things.
Right, I'm going to help you
Alright,
with some
here
onions.
comes, hang on.
Does that
Wait a
really
minute.
work?
They sure do, they work on this side.
Yeah. No, they really work, because I'd cry my eyes out. How are you with onions?
I'm alright, I don't mind a good cry anyway. I'm man enough to
Admit
have
that.
a good cry every now and again. It's amazing I can cook at all, because my mother was an absolutely terrible cook, God rest her soul. But she wouldn't mind me saying she was a terrible cook. I remember Dad was a travelling salesman. He won awards. He was quite a valuable asset to his company, and one of the awards that he won was not a stock pot, what do they call it, pressure cooker.
Yeah.
We come home one time and the whole kitchen's just covered in like brown stuff, and the actual lid of the pressure cooker was still
Embedded
stuck
into
in the roof. And for years we had this like triangular kind of mark in the roof where Mum had experimented with a pressure cooker. And as I said, all this needs, I think that'll be probably enough there. All this will need is a bit of oil, and that's just about it as far as the prep for that's concerned, except for the fact that we have to cook off some celery and onions.
So will we do that in the bottom of the pot?
Do that in the bottom.
Yeah. That's what I like. One pot, not too many dishes.
Absolutely. I want to be one of these guys,
Yeah.
but I can't. I'm too scared.
We can speed it up.
This is the one I've learned off MasterChef. Got my sharp knife. Whack all this palaver off. Do this one. Boom, 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 boom. And then do this one. Bang. Look at that. It's the greatest trick I've ever learned.
I'm impressed.
But that's just, that's just the way you make any soup, really, isn't it?
Yes.
You've got to have to cook that stuff off. Right, now while you're doing that, I can whack a bit of the old oil over here.
Do we need any particular oil? It doesn't matter.
I've just sprayed some over there. Some olive oil's good. Vegetable oil, I find, is probably a little bit better if you want to, when you're making like baked potatoes and stuff. You want that kind of seed to get hard, like a harder
A
shell on the
crunchy outside. Now, how many to go in the pot?
About 4 of those, I reckon. I will
Oh, squish it.
do them ones. Well, there's going to be plenty of garlic in it, so
So we'll keep the vampires away.
These ones, I reckon we'll get these on first up. Bit of pfeffer. Salz and pfeffer from my German learning days. No, they always say, don't they? It's all about the seasoning when it comes to
That's
this
right.
stuff. We'll make a little rosemary thing for the lamb and we'll chop up some rosemary and some oil and salt. And
Rosemary from your garden.
from my garden. Oh, sprigs. Oh, they're sprouting. They're flowering.
Okay.
Good. All right, so let's get these bad boys in there. And then you just got to, that'll heat back up again,
Yeah.
and we'll be, I reckon that'll take about, I don't know, 35 minutes or something to kind of break them all down, and then as I say, we'll get that on, heat that up, put that in there, a bit of stock in it, and whip it up.
Away we go.
Chop that
That's
up.
looking good.
And back on the heat to finish it off. Might have to put a bit more in there at some stage. Chop up the rosemary, fresh out of the Norton Summit garden of my mother-in-law. This is something I learnt on telly.
Very good.
You never take the knife off the board. See, do you know that? I've watched them do this. You mix that with the olive oil and then you kind of rub it all over the legs.
So the lamb is on your farm, Dave. Do
Yes.
they end up on your table?
Are my kids watching this? Yes. Well, we've only got enough room for a few of them to eat grass on our property. So, the ones that we don't need, we kind of eat. And gee, they're tasty. We named one. There was one called. There was two. We had salt and pepper, and then there was one called mint sauce.
Oh, no.
But yeah, the kids.
Rosemary? Was it one
Yes,
called
rosemary. That's good. That'll be next.
And thyme?
That'll be the next ones.
What about a wine glass?
That'll be perfect. Now that you mentioned wine,
Is it wine time?
it might be wine time.
It's wine time somewhere.
I would say.
And there's your wine.
Lovely. My favourite wine. Produce of South Australia.
Yeah.
We grow some of the greatest wines, really. A friend of mine from Anderson Hill, Ben, who he and his wife actually sponsor the Streaming Not Screaming. They won this massive award, one of the best Shirazes in the world recently. Just around the corner from my house, that is. Lovely. Beautiful produce. Once again, this is probably South Australian. We do live in the greatest state on earth.
We do. And if we didn't appreciate it before, we absolutely appreciate it now.
Absolutely. Get out to see it. Cosy was right. All over with the good stuff. It's so simple. It's just, you know.
There we go, easy as.
If you put alpha oil on it first, it can make it a bit soggy.
Right.
I've found in my
Experience.
which has been many and varied, and in it goes. And that's going to take, that'll probably take an hour and 30 minutes or so, but we'll keep it on.
Alrighty. So a wine and a game of pool.
Rock on.
Challenge.
I love it.
Challenge accepted.
I like it.
Alright, well let's have a game. So you're from Newcastle originally.
Yep.
Yep. And you're an Adelaide boy now.
I am. Adopted Adelaide boy. I adopted this joint 15 and a half years ago or so. Yeah. Came down when my daughter was 6 months old, so it's kind of how I judge how long we've been here.
Yeah. And you're here to stay now.
Yeah, absolutely. We put down roots. The kids are crow eaters. Katie's grew up here, so yeah, we found a beautiful place to live, and yeah, we're very lucky to be living in the hills on a property and stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of which, you're local. I think you play a little bit of this up there.
I do. The boys will be laughing because they made me captain again this season, and I'm terrible. I'll never make up the numbers or have a good night on a Wednesday night.
Good on you.
But the Scenic Hotel, yes, is our home. We've won one flag since I've been with them, and lost 3.
And do you play darts as well there?
I have had a bit of a go at darts. No good with that either.
No good?
Pub sports, just something to pass the time while we're drinking a few bevies.
Yeah, alrighty. Well, let's get started, shall we?
All right. Do you want a break?
I'll break.
All right.
Ladies.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
And goes the little one.
Got one in.
Straight into the trick shots.
Ouch.
Look how you do.
So, Dave, things are starting to pick up a little bit on the concert front.
Yeah, absolutely. A few gigs opening up. 2021's going to be a much better year than 2020. There's no doubt about that. Trick shots. Oh, no. Great shot. What do you
I
say?
tried to get it in that hole and it went in that hole.
Whatever it takes. It's not how, it's how many.
Oh. You're going to be very ladylike.
Oh, I'm getting
So, you and the boys have got some new music coming out too on the horizon.
Yeah, well, 2021 will be the 30th anniversary of the release of our first album, All for One. So we're going to re-record that and tour that as long as we can. And there's Angel stuff as well. We'll be touring the 40th anniversary of the Dark Room album. So there's plenty on, as well as new recordings to go as well. So it's just looking forward to being all able to get in the same studio together and nut some stuff out.
And Jets have got a vinyl coming out, I hear.
Yeah, Jets on vinyl. It's been a long time since we've done anything on vinyl. We did the Bit of Pill EP, which was kind of just to check out how the technology works. Wow.
That was a fluke.
Just check if I've got undies on.
Oh gosh.
That's got to go in.
You know, I just want to say thank God this is being filmed because nobody would believe it. Uh-oh, here we go. No. We know that you started with the Screaming Jets, and of course, me being an Adelaide girl, loved the Cold Chisel and the Angels. How big of a thrill for you?
Oh, unreal. I mean, talking of two bands that were very instrumental in us, starting the band and wanting to, wanting to succeed. We used to watch Narara '83, I think, the Angels live performance they did at this mad outdoor concert just outside of Sydney. We used to watch that religiously. We used to watch The Last Stand religiously. They were like things. They were like our textbooks, really.
And you have the
Look pretty good.
10 out of 10.
That's fantastic. All right, there they are.
So you can have it as chunky or as frothy as you like.
They call it rustic, don't they?
That's
chunky.
right, chunky.
The proof's going to be in the tasting, surely. Yeah, see now, I've left the garlic skin, like the garlic roasted down and the skins are in there, but they're all chopped up. I don't find it offensive. There's probably many who do.
So this is Dave Gleeson's roasted vegetable soup.
It is indeed.
Roasted root
Roasted
vegetable
root veggies.
soup.
The Gravox. I mean, it is definitely a stalwart of the industry. And there's a bit of fat in there, obviously.
I don't mind a bit of fat.
Yeah, well, you know, everyone's very conscious nowadays, aren't
Well, I think sugar's going to kill us faster than fat.
they? Yeah, right. Let's see. Do a bit more than that. Just
Looking
taste
good,
that.
Dave.
Jeepers O'Leary.
You just need a little cravat.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I knew that'd be hot.
Thank you, Dave, for sharing these wonderful recipes with us today. I must admit, I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised.
I am too.
Everything worked out.
Now the meat's out here, you've got to rest your meat, they always say.
That's right.
Been resting mine for years.
So while that rests, I'll dish up some of the roasted root vegetable soup.
Unreal. Alright, here we go.
One for Dave. It's a great consistency.
Rustic. It's still rustic.
It's rustic. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh, it's earthy.
That's it. Nice.
I just love the sweetness that you get when you roast them off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And I thought, what's the difference between a root vegetable soup and a normal vegetable soup? It actually is different.
It is a little, yeah, well obviously, I mean, because you put all kinds of different vegetables in, but these are all obviously underground ones, so
The root family.
that's where you get the nice earthiness from.
Definitely.
Bon appetit. And here's, oh look at the veggies. I mean, I don't like to talk myself up, but they look pretty good.
10 out of 10.
10, oh, that's fantastic. Alright, there they are. More root vegetables, got to be good for you. Teddy the dog's up here, he wants some.
Yeah, he smelled it.
Alright, so, and we got the gravy there. Just make it with the pear juices, bit of Gravox, bang.
Few peas.
A few peas, you can have peas if you like. I always like a pea with me, with me lamb.
Roast.
Alright.
We can have Tom Cruise over now.
Alright, should I cut a bit of it up to make sure it's alright?
Yep. Shall we?
Do that. The proof is in the cutting.
Uh-oh, Dave's got a knife.
You know what the best cutting boards are those ones that have the spikes on them?
Ah.
Seen those?
Yeah.
I never knew what they were for as a young man. Now I do, oh look at that, that's pretty well done.
That is good.
It's pretty amazing. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
We're both surprised. No,
It surprised
I
myself.
expect no less.
Right, oh, sugars. And obviously, the outside meat will be the stuff that people like well done, and as you get further in,
Yeah.
got
Well,
the
well
beautiful
done, Dave.
thickness to it. My absolute pleasure.
We could not have planned that better. It's
Yeah.
a miracle.
It's
but-
worked an absolute treat, hasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Just like some up there. Beautiful.
You know, they have all these new fancy pants recipes and what have you, but nothing beats a good old farm roast.
Just like Nanny used to
Yeah,
make.
exactly right.
Beautiful. Nice and pink. Lovely. How's that looking? Is that still
That's,
done?
I reckon that'll do.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Go. Veggies, gravy,
Some peas
ta-da.
sorted. Dinner sorted.
Unreal.
Thank you, Dave.
No worries, Cheryl. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Sweet.
Next week, we are going to talk about keeping fit, and we've got Adelaide's own Vince Contarino from the Zep Boys sharing his workout routine with us. Thank you for joining me today. You've been with Cheryl Lee on Disgracefully Graceful. Hope you can join me again next time when we can grow a little bit older, disgracefully, together again.
Going up. We do it on